Bishop, thanks for being with us today.
Good to be here.
As we speak, the International Eucharistic Congress is going on in Cebu in the Philippines. And a lot of people might not know what a Eucharistic Congress is. First of all, what is it? Why do we have it?
Well, the Eucharistic Congress is got a life of about 100, the last 75 years. The Church has declared certain places to be locations for Eucharistic Congress, which basically tries to bring people together to understand better the Eucharist, how it influences our lives. And they're kind of moved around the world, different places, different times. This one is in Cebu, interesting. It's in Mindanao, which is the south of the Philippines, where we have the insurgents, the Muslim insurgents, who recently has made peace with the government. So it's a good place to bring the focus on the Eucharist, which is also a sacrament of reconciliation.
So what happens? I mean, this is like a week-long celebration.
Well, they're obviously celebrations of the Eucharist, Eucharistic adoration, and talks on the Eucharist, various things. As you know, Cardinal Dolan went and gave a talk, and Bishop Barron, a new bishop, a very popular speaker, was there, among others, who gave talks on the Eucharist.
Mm-hmm. This must be a great thing for the Filipino people to host this thing. And we have so many Filipinos right here in our own diocese, and you were with them recently just to for an observance.
Yes,
of the,
we kind of had a Mass in solidarity. Many people could not travel, and even our pilgrimage was rather expensive for most people. So we had about 30 people from the Archdiocese of New York and from Brooklyn that went with the Bishop Massa and Cardinal Dolan. But we did this Mass in solidarity. We had almost 1,000 people at St. Sebastian's, which is a huge church. So it was about half full, which spread out. It's really a lot of people. And mostly Filipinos. In fact, the prayer the faithful was in the 5 major Filipino dialects. It didn't sound much different to me, but they were different.
How's your Tagalog?
Well, it wasn't too good.
But I heard that they greeted you like a rock star. They're happy to see their bishop, right?
Everybody has their cell phone. They want a picture. They want the Filipinos have a custom that they take your ring and put it to their forehead.
Yeah.
That's the way they greet you. And so that was my arm was tired.
Now, Bishop Barron, you mentioned him, and in his talk the other day, he said that only about 30% of Catholics avail themselves to the Eucharist. And he said that's a shame. If people really understood what the Eucharist was, more people would come and receive.
Well, I think that's true. I think people have lost their understanding of the Eucharist. For many, even in the surveys, Catholics see it as symbolic. They don't understand, it's a mystery, how Jesus is truly present to us under the form of bread and wine. So that's the gap, and that's basically, unfortunately, a Protestant understanding of the Eucharist, and that has infiltrated our own people's understanding, and that's why they don't come every week. I think that's a key thing. If they understood that, or at least appreciated it, you don't understand the mystery, you appreciate it, they would be there. So that's what I spoke about at the Mass. The difference in understanding of the Eucharist as truly the presence of Jesus.
Our understanding of the Eucharist is a little bit different, or our practice is a little bit different than, say, before Second Vatican Council. There seems to have been more of an emphasis then that you don't come to communion until you go to confession first. Now it seems that everybody at Sunday Mass goes to communion. Which is better? Which do you think is a better practice?
Well, again, the point is that serious sin is the only thing that should keep us from the Eucharist. And I think in the past we had a lot of things that made people stay away from the Eucharist, like forgetting to not to eat meat. They fast on a Friday. I mean, so there was a lot of kind of pitfalls that people fell into, and less people came. But also there was a different understanding of the healing power of the Eucharist. I think it is positive that people do come to communion when they come to Mass, but at the same time we want to preserve the understanding that serious sin is the only thing that should keep us from the Eucharist, and that the sacrament of reconciliation confession is there to allow us to come to the Eucharist.
Good. Bishop, thanks so much for being with us
You're
today.
welcome.